people watching my video. It's me, Heather, again, and today I'm going to tell you all about the books I read this month. I finished Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding. I had started it at the end of July, just like maybe 50 pages of it, so I finished it first thing, beginning of the month, and I have to say it wasn't my favorite. I don't think I was in the mood for this kind of book, but it was pretty funny. I feel like it did have the same kind of tone as the movie, so if you enjoyed the movie, you'll probably enjoy the book. I just think I was not in the right place to read it. This month I really enjoyed more like magical fantasy kind of books, and this is not that, but it is pretty funny. I would say I just didn't really relate to Bridget very much. She was kind of ridiculous and not really in a good way, so it just wasn't my favorite book. I just didn't agree with some of the things she was doing, and I don't know. The next book I read this month was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and oh my goodness. Basically, it is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, except with fairies, and the main character's name is Feyre. I liked her as a person. I felt she was pretty relatable, and then the love interest in the book is just kind of... I feel like I don't have to say any words about him because I have a hardcore crush on him, and that's pretty much all you need to know. It's pretty romantic, but then like when you think that it's all gonna be okay, of course it like all goes to hell in a handbasket. So what I really liked about this is the character had to go through hell towards the end there. I'm not really gonna tell you what has to be done. I strongly recommend you read it. It's, you know, parts of it are predictable, but for the most part, it was a very unique story, and I cannot wait for the next book to come out. The next book I read this month was Cress by Marissa Meyer. There's not really much I can say about this because it is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles, and I don't want to give anything away if you've read the first two books, or if you haven't read the first two books. So, but I will say that this was the best one so far. I loved it so much, and the love interest is I like him. And I were. Alright, the next book I read this month was The Wrath and the Dawn by Renée. Ahdieh? I don't know how to pronounce her name, but this book, oh my goodness. So it is a retelling of 1001 Nights, and basically I told you guys the synopsis in my August book haul, but after having read this book, I loved it. I loved it so much, you guys. I loved the main character. I loved the love interest, one of them. There is kind of a love triangle, but it's not really played out in this book. I feel like it will be in the next one though. I just loved the twist. I loved how it ended. I can't say anything. I'm not gonna say anything, but it's really, really, really good. I feel like the female character is a very strong character. She's kind of a badass. I'm not gonna say anything. I can't say anything, but I loved it, and you guys should read it. The Diviners by Libba Bray. Now, after having read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I couldn't put down, and then I read Cress, which I couldn't put down, and then I read The Wrath and the Dawn, which I could not put down. All three of those were very fast-paced. Picking this one up was a little bit of a disappointment. It wasn't, I mean, it started off kind of slow. It was intriguing, but not so much that I couldn't put it down. This is a series, but I don't really know if I'm gonna jump to read the next book in this series. The main character, Evie, has a power where she can touch any object and kind of find out the secrets of the person who owns the object. So that was pretty cool. But there's sort of like a ghost story sort of thing happening at the same time, and what really aggravated me throughout the whole book is that she believes in her own power. Like, she believes that she has a supernatural power, which she does, but then like she finds it so hard to believe that like the bad guy could be this like ghost. I don't know, it felt really weird. The next book I read was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Now, when I was reading this book, first of all, it was sort of a palate cleanser after all of the like fantastical, magical books that I read. So this is a contemporary young adult fiction, and as I was reading it, I enjoyed it. I read it in one morning. It's not very long. I don't know, I'm kind of torn because I enjoyed it while I was reading it, but then when I stopped and thought about what actually was going on in the book, I was like, really? Like, I don't know, the whole love triangle is a little weird. Like, she's in love with her sister's ex-boyfriend who, once he got like the letter that got sent to him, started to have feelings towards her, and that's just weird, like kind of gives me the creeps. I wasn't really rooting for any of the love interests, so it did kind of end on a cliffhanger, but not really, so I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the next one, but if I do, I'm just gonna try and read it the same way I read this without thinking too hard about it. Okay, and then the last book I read in August, which to be honest, I haven't finished yet, but I'm filming this early, so there's still time to finish it, is The Fiery Cross, which was actually on my August TBR, and I've been reading it for months. I will have finished this book by the time I post this video, don't you worry about it, but it is not my favorite of the Outlander books. I just, if the fact that I still haven't finished it after starting it months and months ago tells you anything, it's that it is just, it's not the best one at all. It's the 5th one in the Outlander series. I read the first 4 back to back. That's a lot of pages of the same like characters, the same sort of storyline, and then the storyline is just, it slowed down so much after Voyager. So after I finish The Fiery Cross, I'm not gonna pick up the next book right away, but that still doesn't change the fact that if you have not read Outlander, you should read Outlander. You should read Outlander, Dragonfly and Amber, and then Voyager, and then just take a break after that, because once Voyager is over, so far it hasn't picked up since then. So that would be my advice. And then watch the show, because the show is really awesome. I'm really excited for season 2. So anyway, those are the books I read this month. Some of the books that were in my August TBR were not read. I think I read the first chapter of Wild, and I really liked it, but then I didn't pick it up again because I had like all these other books that I purchased. And then the Paradise Lost was just not gonna happen. Like, let's be honest, it's just not gonna happen. It did not compete with the allure of these other books that I had, so. And then I think I was gonna start reading Allegiant, and again, I didn't. I don't know if I'm going to. Comment below if you think I should. If it was like your favorite book and you really think I should read Allegiant, then I just need some convincing, so. Because I might be getting more books very soon. So anyway, that's it. There we go. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!